Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about Halloween. So in the US, a lot of things happen during Halloween. You have haunted houses, you have parties, bobbing for apples, carving jack-o'-lanterns, all these things. But I would say by and large, the biggest one is trick-or-treating. So what is trick-or-treating exactly? Well, it's where kids dress up in costumes and they go from house to house and they say trick or treat and people give them candy. And they do this over and over and over again until they have so much candy, probably more than they know what to do with. So here's a little secret. We know this growing up about trick or treating because our families, our parents tell us or whatever. But something you may not know is like, how do you know what house to go to? Does everybody give candy? Like, do you just guess? Well, the secret is in the porch light. If people turn their porch light on, then you know that is a house that is giving candy. So kind of the thing with trick-or-treating is the name sounds, there's kind of this idea, and this goes back to the history, which I'm not getting into today, but it's if you don't give me a treat, I will give you a trick. The kid will trick you, like they'll smash your pumpkins or they'll do something naughty. But that doesn't really happen. If you don't have any more candy, whatever, you can just shut your light off. It's not a big deal. But I did have an old lady. I went to her house to get candy. I was really little. I was with my mom, and she said, I said trick or treat, and she goes, trick. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't have a trick, and she just kind of laughed and she gave me the candy anyway. You also, as an adult, oftentimes you will go trick-or-treating because you bring your kids with you. My daughter, when she was 2 years old, she loved Curious George. And I made a joke to my wife that she should dress up like Curious George and I will go as the man in the yellow hat. And my wife thought it was funny, told her sister, and her sister went out and bought a monkey costume for my daughter. So I was like, okay, I have to do this. I normally wouldn't have, but we were moving overseas soon, and I knew that it might be several years before my daughter got to go trick-or-treating, and I just wanted her to experience her culture and her parents' culture before she didn't have a chance to do that. So I made the costume. It was really cool. I couldn't find a good one online or anything that I liked, so I made one. And I told her, okay, if we are going, you have to walk. You're too big. I can't carry you for all this way. And she was like, okay. So she went out and we walked our neighborhood and walked, and my feet were even tired, but she just kept on walking. And she was such a champ. I was so proud of her. And she had a blast just spending time with her daddy and getting candy. And, who wouldn't love that? With trick-or-treating, there is different culture within sometimes the same state. I grew up in an area in which you said trick-or-treat, you got your candy, that was it. Where my wife grew up in an area where the trick-or-treaters, the kids, had to tell a joke. And my wife told me this. She's like, hey, you guys got to have a joke when you go out. And I'm like, what? You're crazy. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. That's not a thing. Your mom just made that up. She's like, okay, but we had a joke for my daughter and she did her jokes and everything. But the thing is, in my area, we also lived there before that. And my wife passed out candy to the neighborhood kids. And they would say trick or treat, and she said, hey, tell me your joke. And they looked at her like she was crazy. They're like, okay. And a couple kids made one up, and they just looked at her like she was nuts. And she looked at them and thought, man, kids these days, they're so lazy. They can't even come up with a good joke for going out trick-or-treating. So yeah, it just shows that there can even be cultural differences within the same state. In the US for something as simple as trick-or-treating. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, go ahead and give a big thumbs up, smash that like button and hit this and go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you later.